Hello everyone, welcome to Mentors for IAS. I'm Dr. Arjun Bopanna and we are discussing anthropological theorists and anthropologists' contribution to anthropology as a discipline. So in this particular video, we will be discussing about neo-evolution. So far, we have covered up to culture, personality, school of thought. Neo-evolution is basically revival of the concept of evolution and evolutionary study in culture and study of society. We discussed classical evolution. This was the first theory put forward in anthropology, but classical evolution or unilinear evolution had a lot of limitation. It was not very scientific. It did not provide evidences. The approach or the principles that they gave was also very biased and ethnocentric. Well, later on, after World War II, there was once again revival of the idea of evolution, but now the neo-evolutionists that we call them were equipped with evidences, and they rejected or they did not focus on non-material culture. They focused on material culture because they can give evidences. So using evidences, using actual science, where they were able to prove that societies undergo change because of evolution. So neo-evolution is revival of the concept of evolution in social change. So culture undergoes change through the process of evolution. Okay, so this neo-evolution is very important. It is more important than classical evolution because it is much more scientific. It is much more relevant even today, contemporarily also. So neo-evolution, basically, there are three schools of neo-evolution. These are the keywords that you have to remember: universal evolution, multilinear evolution, and general and specific. This, if we compare with classical, so they are called as unilinear evolution. Tyler, Morgan, their theory is called as unilinear evolution, whereas neo-evolution, okay, you have universal evolution given by Gordon V. Childe and Leslie Alvin White, multilinear, Julian Stewart, general and specific, Salins and Service. So these are important names you have to remember, and one book from each of them you should remember. So how is neo-evolution different from classical evolution? One, they gave evidence. Second, they focused on material culture because they leave evidences. And when you study material culture, they don't become speculative. If you're studying non-material culture like marriage, like kinship, like religion, those culture don't leave evidences, direct evidences, which can be used to prove or disprove something. So they focus only on material culture like tools, okay, and archaeological evidences based on which they were able to show that society undergoes change through evolution. In addition to that, they also gave importance to the concept of diffusion. So they integrated the theory of diffusion in their explanation of social change. So we will see the first one, universal evolution. So universal evolution, Gordon V. Childe and Leslie Alvin White, both of them, they basically talk about that the concept of evolution is universal. The principles that leads to social change is universal. That is why it is called as universal evolution. They did not focus on specific changes, individual adaptation. They did not worry about that. They said that evolution is progressive. It leads to higher and much more complex human beings. Same way, it leads to much more complex and developed socio-cultural institutions. Okay, so they say that evolution happens in stages, and in each stage, there is a marked improvement or marked advancement. So every stage the mankind or culture progresses, it is associated with advancement. And also, it is associated with, as each stage progresses, it is more energy is harnessed. And all these stages are universal. It is seen across the world. Any society you take, every society, as it progresses from one stage to another, it becomes much more complex, more energy is harnessed. And they do this and they give evidences to prove it. For example, Child, being an archaeologist, he was able to show archaeological evidences to prove that every stage of human cultural development or society's progress is associated with better technology, and better technology means more energy being harnessed. More energy being harnessed means more complex socio-cultural institutions. So as the society progresses from Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, metal ages, Iron Age, copper, bronze, and Iron Age, the society becomes more and more complex. So he used only the material evidences or material culture to equate them to cultural evidence, cultural evolution. So archaeological period were correlated with cultural development. So by showing that the use of stone tools is associated with savagery, the use of polished stones associated with barbarism, use of metal associated with higher barbarism and civilization, by giving archaeological evidences. Similarly, you also have L.A. White, whose theory is called as law of energy, where he says that as society progresses, the technological advancement increases. As the technological advancement increases, more energy is harnessed by the society. As more energy is harnessed, more complex culture develops. So as the technology increases, more energy is harnessed by the society, more will be the cultural development. So as the technology increases, culture also increases, and that he proved through evidences. So like in savagery, the technology was muscle power. You used your muscle to harness energy, and that had its limitation. It was less. Next comes barbarism, where we started to cultivate, and domesticate plants and animals. So more energy, and therefore culture was more. So the culture was more compared to that of savagery. In civilization, use of coal, atomic, solar, industrial revolution, etc., more energy harnessed. So therefore, the culture and society also becomes much more complex. So if you see both these theories, both their ideas, L.A. White and L.A. White and Child, in both these theories, both are talking about universal principle. That means as society progresses in stages, the culture also evolves at a higher to a higher development and higher complexity. So this therefore is a universal principle. Compared to this universal principle, Julian Stewart's gave multilinear evolution. He said that every society, in both the L.A. White, for example, he considered, or he took environment as constant. It did not really matter to him. So everywhere the society will undergo progressive development. But Julian Stewart, he took environment as an important factor in evolution. So he says that environmental condition, okay, and technology developing in similar environmental condition only will evolve in similar manner. I'll repeat again. Those society having similar environment would lead to development of similar technology, and hence they would evolve in similar manner. Another society having another different environment will have a different evolutionary line. So like that, since environment is different in different parts of the world, evolution also is having different paths. Thus, the multilinear evolution. So evolution has multiple lines. So this can be one line, one environment, one type of evolution. Another environment, let's say B, another line of evolution. Another environment, another line of evolution. So therefore, this is multilinear evolution. So he says society with only similar technology existing in similar environment would be parallel to one another. So this is your multilinear evolution given by Julian Stewart. So if you compare White, L.A. White's and Julian Stewart's concept, L.A. White says that evolution principles is universal, hence universal evolution. Julian Stewart says that in only specific environment with similar technology, evolution will be similar, but in another society with a different environment, evolutionary path will be different. So, multilinear evolution. Now, both are actually correct if you look at it. Evolution is progressive, okay, what L.A. White said. And at the same time, they also adapt. Okay, they also adapt. Evolution is progressive. That is, they abide by certain universal principles. But at the same time, they also adapt to the local environment, which is multilinear evolution. So therefore, if you see, evolution is progressive and at the same time branching. So this idea is called as general and specific evolution, given by Marshall Salins and Elman Service. So according to them, evolution has dual character. Evolution is moving step by stage in progressive nature, that is from simple to complex. But at the same time, there are adaptation to and modification according to a particular environment. That means there is divergence. Again, they give evidences from archaeology as well as human physical evolution. For example, if you talk about the Homo sapiens, so Homo sapiens represents one line of evolution. The different subspecies under them, okay, or variations of Homo sapiens, like Homo sapiens sapiens, like Grimaldi man, Chancelade man, they represent specific evolution. If you talk about Homo erectus being one path of evolution that is progressive, okay, Homo erectus that evolved from Homo habilis, the regional variations like Peking man, like Java man, okay, maybe even Narmada man, these are all regional variation which has modification to adapt to a particular region. So this way, Marshall Salins and Elman Service try to bring a compromise between universal evolution and multilinear evolution. Okay, so these are the three schools of neo-evolution. Very important topic from the exam point of view. Individual topics can be asked, or as a whole it can be asked, or a question on comparison between neo-evolution and classical evolution can also be asked. I hope this video on neo-evolution was useful. In the next, we will discuss another theorist and continue with our timeline. I hope it was useful. Thank you for watching. And if anybody needs help with respect to answer writing and mentoring in anthropology and want to improve their scores, please do visit us. Please, the description is there below. Thank you for watching and have a good day.